This is the SS Kuwaitan. It was built in 1907 and was one of the last of the great cruise ships to ply the Great Lakes. In the 1950s, the cruising died down, but it's experienced a revival, and we're going to talk about how that touches Saugatuck.
The turn of the century marked the heyday for the Great Lakes. Known as the cruise ship era, the main source of transportation for travelers who toured different ports was by passenger ship. Saugatuck was known as the Star of the Great Lakes, mainly due to the beautiful old pavilion and dance hall located along the Kalamazoo River. Men were required to wear tuxedos, and women dressed in beautiful full-length gowns with hats. The dance pavilion was known as the hotspot during the 30s and 40s. It was considered the hub of activity for steamships plying the western Great Lakes. Due largely to the Passenger Services Act of 1886, which barred foreign competition in U.S. waters, the 40s marked the decline of the cruise industry. After 1886, foreign-built or foreign-registered ships were not allowed to carry paying passengers from port to port in U.S. waters. So when already existing cruise ships began to retire from service, they weren't replaced. The act also required that ships operating on the Great Lakes had to be built, registered, owned, and operated by U.S. citizens. The automobile also played a big part in the decline of the passenger ships. People began driving themselves to vacation spots along the coast. The idea to bring luxury cruise ships back to the Great Lakes originated here in Saugatuck, Michigan. Michigan's Governor, John Engler, appointed Felicia Fairchild, the executive director of the Saugatuck Douglas Convention and Visitors Bureau, travel commissioner for the state. She was asked to chair the Product Development Task Force Committee for the state, along with working toward bringing luxury cruise ships back to Michigan and the Great Lakes. Felicia was introduced to Christopher Wright, a Canadian from the Mayport Corporation. He was spearheading a similar effort in Canada. The two of them joined forces and handpicked a team of people from around the Great Lakes to begin the redevelopment of the Great Lakes cruise industry. While researching the law, they discovered something interesting. When a foreign passenger vessel sails to a foreign port, in this case Canada, and then on to Michigan ports, and then sails back to a foreign port, it doesn't interfere with the Act of 1886. So, operating within the law, they began to interest small cruise ship companies from Europe in cruising the Great Lakes. The idea was to keep the same set of passengers for the entire cruise, offering shopping and sightseeing along the way. The Columbus was the first cruise ship to enter the Great Lakes, stopping along the ports of Mackinac Island, Beaver Island, Marquette, Grand Haven, Detroit, and Traverse City. This new breed of luxury cruise liner is built to cater to a much smaller group of passengers, between 90 and 100 people. The cruise lines market themselves as being able to take you into ports where the big ships just can't go. The passengers are a mix of nationalities, some from the U.S. and some from various European cities. In 1999, Saugatuck was host to a beautiful passenger cruise ship called the Le Levant, a French-built and operated ship. The Le Levant was the first passenger ship to sail West Michigan waters in over 35 years. In 1999, the ship visited Saugatuck 6 times, and they plan to make 8 visits in the year 2000. When the Le Levant entered the port of Saugatuck, she was greeted by the SS Kuwaitan. It was an historic occasion because the Kuwaitan is the only remaining passenger cruise ship in existence from that golden era of cruising the Great Lakes. She's permanently moored in Saugatuck Harbor. When the Le Levant entered the harbor, the Kuwaitan saluted her, and she saluted back. To the people of Saugatuck, it signified the rebirth of luxury passenger cruising in their waters.
You know, Saugatuck is not only an unspoiled natural paradise, but once you get off the boat, there's a lot to do and to see. With us right now is Felicia Fairchild, who is the executive director of the Saugatuck Douglas Convention and Visitors Bureau. Felicia, how did this beautiful little community get to be the kind of art center that it is now?
Well, it's been an art community or an art colony for over 100 years, and that began when the Chicago Institute of Art established their summer school for painting here in Oxbow Lagoon.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, it's a beautiful setting. It would make sense that artists would want to come to paint the beauty, but I guess they decided not only to come and paint, but they stayed.
Yes, they did. A lot of artists flocked to these shores because of our pristine setting on Lake Michigan and because of the beautiful surroundings. It was a wonderful place to live and to paint. We have, in this tiny little community, over 30 art galleries, quality art galleries. And many of these galleries have in them the artists themselves who exhibit their work and who paint or sculpt on site. We have artists in residence such as James Brandis and Marcia Perry, and we also have a cooperative gallery over here called the Discovery Art Gallery, where a number of local artists get together and exhibit.
How about eating? You don't want to eat the art, unless maybe there's some sculptures that people can consume.
Well, cooking is a form of art, you know.
All right, there we go. You're right.
We call those the culinary arts.
Ah, okay. So you can eat some of the artwork
Yes, you
around
can.
here.
Yes, you can. And we have some wonderful artists in some of our restaurants. We do. We have ethnic food here. We have good traditional American food. It ranges from everything from the local hot dog vendor to haute cuisine. This is a wonderful place for people to come with their whole family. And it's a wonderful place to bring your children to introduce them to those things that revolve around the arts. And we also have summer stock theater here, professional summer stock theater. In fact, our Red Barn Theater is one of the last remaining Red Barn playhouses in the United States.
Mm. Let's talk a little bit about the downtown area, because I know it's just a short walk from the marina here. What will we find when we walk into downtown?
One of the things that people really like to do here is to shop. Shopping in Saugatuck is a sensory experience. You don't shop here, you peruse. And you savor what you find. In this town, you will find there's something for everyone.
How about places to stay?
We have wonderful lodging establishments. We're known as the bed and breakfast capital of the Midwest. We have 40 bed and breakfasts, and we have 13 motels, all high quality with excellent service.
Now, how about golf? Some people
golf,
won't
yes,
go anywhere
golf.
without being able to golf.
I've got to tell you about that, yes. We have 3 excellent golf courses. In fact,
3?
we have an Arnold Palmer designer course that is available, became available this July.
My goodness.
It's a beautiful course.
3, count them.
3 of them, yes.
Well, I know there are certain people who are now going to mark Saugatuck down for their vacation simply because
we
there's
hope
golf
so.
there. And the rest of their family can enjoy the art and the shopping.
That's right.
Felicia, thank you.
Thank you.
These are the 279 steps that lead to the top of Mount Baldhead. And as you can see, it's Saugatuck's version of the Stairmaster. And I don't know why, but I'm going up myself. Of natural beauty and all the other art and grace and shopping and fun things that there are here in Saugatuck, the port that we've been visiting on our Great Lakes Ports of Call today. I hope that you'll make a personal tour here. Take a ride on the dune buggies, take the chain ferry across the river. Enjoy Saugatuck, Michigan. And join us again soon when we visit another Great Lakes Ports of Call.